CDPR just cooked so hard. We have some exciting news for the Witcher series, and we're gonna cover everything that was revealed up until now, including the details of the latest expansion, Songs of the Past, and the free remastered upgrade that's coming very soon. If you're excited for what's coming, don't forget to like and subscribe to support the channel, and let's dive into it. So Songs of the Past is the last and final expansion we are going to get for the Witcher Wild Hunt series, releasing somewhere in 2027. This DLC is supposed to connect us with the story of The Witcher 4, where Ciri will be the main protagonist. Doug is also back as Geralt. Because this is Geralt's last ride, it should sound like the original Geralt that we know of, and they did exactly just that. And the scale for this DLC is comparable to that of Blood and Wine, co-developed by Fool's Theory with CDPR. However, the story of Songs of the Past was originally written years ago by CDPR writers, which is then expanded into what we have now. And this whole expansion is built on top of the remaster, though visually it should look a lot better than the old Blood and Wine days. We're talking updated textures, better lighting, denser foliage, the whole visual upgrade, including new VFX for signs and combats, and a bunch more quality of life upgrades. All of the upgrades from the remastered is being carried over. In the story, this picks up after Blood and Wine, as Geralt was trying to retire at Corvo Bianco. That lasted about 5 minutes, because now he's getting pulled back into the path one last time. But for us, it's actually 11 years, and holy crap, I feel old. This DLC takes us to a new area called Leden, located around northern of Redania. It also happens to be close to Kovir from The Witcher 4. Not surprised with the tones and countryside vibes that we get from this area. It's very similar to the ones we saw in The Witcher 4 demos, and it definitely feels connected. And Leden isn't just a new region, it's actually Dandelion's birthplace. His real name is Julian Alfred Pancratz, Viscount de Lettenhove, and this is basically his family's land. And yes, you heard that right. Dandelion's family has a land, a bard. What? I hope I didn't butcher his family name, but anyways, this is actually where the story starts. What we know so far is that Dandelion invites Geralt to Leden for some personal problems. Geralt wakes up hungover after the party celebrations, and Dandelion is gone. Then Geralt stumbles upon a stranger who has Dandelion's loot in his hands. That's the moment it stops being a reunion and turns into a missing person case. From there, Geralt goes to the family estate, the Ledenhove Manor. Let me repeat that again. Dandelion's family estate. Not some random rented room in Novigrad, but an actual noble house with relatives and dinner arguments. We have known Dandelion for 3 games as loud as the bard next to Geralt. Suddenly, it feels like we never actually knew Dandelion at all. The devs have also said that the manor is going to be quite explorable, so that's very interesting. Then they showed us Geralt meeting Dandelion's family, including his cousin, Lila, or Lila. Okay, I actually don't know. Then we also see Dandelion's grandmother, Astrid. We've seen the gameplay where Geralt has a diner scene with her at the estate, and she seems pretty intense. Like the kind of family member that explains why Dandelion ran off to become a bard. Pretty quickly, it becomes clear that this isn't just a typical Dandelion wandering off somewhere with someone after a party. Something is definitely wrong. There's a family curse kind of in the background, and Geralt has to figure out what happened to his closest friend. This is also the first time the games really sit with Dandelion as a person. CDPR mentioned that Witcher 3 never had space for that because the main story was always about Ciri, but this expansion is that space. They said this story is more than just Geralt's life at stake, but the fate of Leden and even Geralt's closest friendship are on the line. So Dandelion being gone isn't a side trip. This is about the one friend Geralt never really got a full story with in Witcher 3. Geralt is probably walking into some sort of darker family history here. Moreover, from the gameplay, Leden looks alive during the day like a hidden valley, lively, full of festivals, harvests, folklores, and the lifestyle in Leden is very different from any other regions that we have seen. Maybe just a little bit of Toussaint mixed in. The people are living off the land, celebrating like the rest of the continent wars never reached them. The REDstreams showed townfolk doing daily chores, livestock wandering around like a countryside feel. It looks like we can now pet dogs too, which is amazing. Visually, they said it was inspired by the Polish countryside mixed with Tudor-style architecture. So think of cottages, manors, festivals during the day, then the second the sun goes down, the same place starts feeling wrong. And I'm really digging the vibes of this place. It's blooming and peaceful on the surface, then you get to spots like the Garden of Thorns, the Family Curse, and all the other stuff hiding underneath those harvest festivals. It completely flips how Leden feels going from day to night. Like here we see Lila in the woods with Geralt looking for Dandelion. She's probably not the only cousin that Dandelion has. From the gameplay they showed, where Geralt goes with her to the Garden of Thorns, she seems adventurous, sharp, and not just standing there as a flavor. She's also being talked about for a possible romance option. I really do wonder, what is Yen gonna say about that? For the enemies, we also see the new Thornbloom, a tall monster that shoots acid from range and explodes with these pores, and it's also purple now, looking extremely good from the new VFX that comes with the remaster. There's also a new enemy called Swarmian, a ghoul-looking thing wrapped in a cloud of hornets, and some sort of boss known as Slumbering Knight. Could this be related to one of Dandelion's family line? We'll have to see. It's interesting because it's wearing some sort of pendant, and if we look carefully, we can actually see Lila wearing that, so it might be tied to Dandelion's family line or something. The trailer also showed warp tree creatures and a mutated warrior, plus that whispering tree presence calling Geralt into the dark. The biggest new addition to the combat is Geralt's chain that allows him to hook enemies, pull them in, and cut their head off. Seems especially useful when enemies start swarming in, especially this part where he can pretty much just rip out the cloud of hornets that these new enemies have to break their defense. And we don't actually know if the chain is gonna work with the other monsters, but if I'm gonna have to guess, I'm gonna say yes, it definitely will work with other monsters. Because having the chain only work in the Leaden region would not make any sense. Maybe with some monsters, it's better to use a chain to fight them, we'll have to see. We currently don't know how the chain is gonna work when it comes to the monsters that already exist in the game. Also, this chain first showed up in the Witcher 1 intro, and it looks a lot like the chain Ciri uses in the Witcher 4 trailer. But that doesn't quite confirm that she inherits it. But I do feel like the connection is sitting there on purpose. We also finally get to see the sword in the poster in-game during this scene where Geralt walks in towards the monster. New mutagens are coming too. They haven't explained the full list yet, but that's a bigger deal than it sounds. Mutagens are part of how we build Geralt, so this isn't just new monsters, it's new ways to play him in this last expansion. Talking about reworks, they're doing this for the skill tree as well, so it looks like there's now a new path and new ways to go and get that skill. It doesn't seem like a completely new skill, however the path to get to a skill has somewhat been reworked. We're also getting a transmog system that allows Geralt to change the look of his armor while keeping the base stats. And I've heard the inventory system is also getting a revamp, including the looting system, mount handling improvement, all the UI navigations and whatnot, real-time meditation system which was cut out from the game. As we can see from the trailer, this is probably what it's going to look like. We're also getting cross-platform mod supports for console players. At least that's what I'm getting from this word cross-platform. They're also adding 20 new Gwent cards, including new hero cards and new weather cards. Some of those cards are story locked is what the devs said. I mean, yeah, essentially all the quality of life updates. That may sound like it's nothing, but the fact that they're doing all of that for free, it shows how much they care about the game and its player community. However, we still don't have a date for when this is going to be released. It's supposed to be in 2027. We don't know about the price yet, but guys, at this point, it would be rude to not buy this DLC. Like, come on. And before Songs of the Past drops, Witcher 3 Remastered comes out on September 29, so if you own the game, the upgrade is basically free. Hearts of Stone and Blood and Wine DLC are free now too. That is if you own the base game. So you can jump back in, play the whole thing in a remastered version, and get ready for Geralt's last ride in 2027. Then in 2028, we get The Witcher 4, where we start to play as Ciri. That's why this whole announcement hit so hard. CDPR really did cook. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been this excited for a game and a DLC in such a long time. We'll try to keep you all updated on the news. Even crazier is that Blood of the Dawnwalker is already dropping early on the 3rd of September. Let me know if you guys are excited, and are you gonna be picking up Blood of the Dawnwalker? And that's gonna be it for now. I basically just made this video out of excitement, so yeah. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more. For now, peace.